Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol TRXC. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So all this here may look like several days worth of time. It's actually just today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like you this time frame. I think it's a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. I did this analysis yesterday, so that's where these green and red line annotations are coming from. And before I go any further, from a presentation standpoint, this is actually a pretty tricky chart to talk about now because there's a lot of perspective that goes into it. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're a day trader and you bought right there, or maybe you bought right there yesterday, and you wanted to sell within 25 minutes after buying, then yeah, for you, the chart's looking pretty bad. Now, if you care about the big picture of things, I get it. From the highs, the price is pulled back. But from the big picture perspective, the bulls do still have plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. And as long as you have higher bases being built over longer periods of time, that's how long-term uptrends are constructed. I am going to be talking about things from a big picture perspective. So if I sound crazy calling something bullish, my guess would be you just had a different outlook and strategy, kind of going into the trade. So with that being said, let's first just talk about a couple levels of resistance real quick. Nothing new here. You still have that first level of resistance up at the 350 mark, but this update is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they do tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of bounce, that first level, like I said, of resistance at 330, and then you can, convert your attention back to those highs up at 350. But really, I think that the top priority right now is just kind of where is this going to, ideally stabilize, because it is in the middle of a pullback. And this also is, what kind of justifies, the logic of, how can you still call this bullish after the pullback? Well, let's look at this previous breakout point, which is, essentially this other next overall level of resistance, and that's down here at $2.95. Again, this was resistance. The price broke above it. And again, just a foundational rule, resistances tend to act as support. And I'm not saying this will happen, but let's just say the price actually continues to pull back, behaves in that manner, and then starts to work its way back upwards. What would you have in this situation? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have a consolidations low right there. You'd have other lows right there. If you picture these as stair steps, then from the big picture, you'd still very clearly have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. Again, I am well aware that if you're a day trader and you bought right there, then yeah, you couldn't care about these big picture stair steps. But that's why I try to offer up a warning that I would be talking about things from a big picture point of view. Because yeah, today the price pulled back, but stop and think about that word, today, as in 1 day. Looking at multiple days, which is what we're doing here, the bulls still have plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. So let's see if they can get that job done or not. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.